What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another SLA video. It's your boy Payne. Happy Saturday, guys. Kids are at my mom's house sleeping over today, so it's time to have a little bit of fun. I'm gonna do this video, and then I'm gonna head out and go watch a movie with my wife and have a little bit of a date night. So I do want to talk about something that many of you guys are probably very, very excited about, and you should be, but I think there's a lot of misconceptions about the mode, and I want to discuss this because I do know some things about the mode, and I want to discuss what the mode is all about and how it's going to be presented and why it needs to be presented the way it is. Before I do that, though, real quick, guys, go and click that support program. Make sure you go and support your boy. Get yourself some free coupons and codes, and yeah. Show me that you love me and I love you back. That's how it always works, baby. All right, so the co-op mode that everyone has been discussing, Jeju Island cooperation mode. Just real quick, I want to show you guys the picture. It's a little bit blurry here, but you guys can see little nodes here, right? You guys can see it's almost like a little stage. So I do know some things about it, and there's some things I don't know. Okay, and I do want to discuss this because I think it's very important that we understand how this is going to work and the reason why it has to work the way it does. Now, most of us, when we think of co-op mode, obviously think of being able to play with other players, right? Consider it like I jump on a stage, another player is part of that stage, said player and myself can use our characters, we do a mode together. Definition of co-op, you're quite literally working with somebody in that mode. Unfortunately, for SLA, it becomes very difficult to perform that because of a couple of reasons. Obviously, number one, I would imagine they can't, or if they can, it wouldn't be optimal, create a very balanced and fair environment for that to work. We're talking about different pings in different countries. We're talking about different server locations. We're probably talking about people's connections with their Wi-Fi versus their LANs. You know, depending on other people's connections, how other people will perform. So, for example, if I have perfect connection and I get paired up with somebody with really shit connection, I'll probably lag the entire time, completely ruining the experience, and most likely making them having to revamp the entire mode. So the way the mode is supposed to work right now is very similar to the way Guild Bosses works right now, okay? Where you will have a various amount of nodes in around Jeju Island that you and your either guild or server will have to go and capture individually. And then it tallies up the score, and that score is then used to give you guys your co-op mode. So it's not the traditional sense of co-op where I'm playing with another player and that player and I are working together in the same area to get it done. No. So the way this is going to work, as mentioned, is going to be exactly what I mentioned. You will be playing with other players. Now, remember, this is how it is at the moment. Okay? This is from sources, from other people that I know that have very good intel about this. And Netmarble apparently did attempt to make it a traditional sense of the word when it comes down to co-op mode, but it just didn't pan out for a couple of reasons that I even mentioned right there, right? Those are some good enough reasons to kind of scrap the whole thing and redo it. So is that a disappointing thing? I think for a lot of us that is disappointing, and I understand why people will be disappointed in it, but am I surprised? I would honestly have to say no. I expected all along when I saw the word co-op to be exactly a system where people will play with other players, not simultaneously on the same stage, but working with each other to get a high score based on their server, or again, the cluster of servers they're a part of. And I think that's the smartest way to do it, right? It's the same reason why PvP can't exist in this game, because I think a couple of reasons why PvP can't exist in this game. It can, but it wouldn't be smart. And the only way to really do fair PvP would be to ideally create two different PvP modes, which I don't know if we'll ever have or ever see, but one of those modes would obviously have to be a whale mode where the whales can obviously fight other whales and you know, kick free-to-play's asses, because quite honestly that's what it's going to end up being. And the secondary mode would be fair balanced PvP, where everybody gets the same characters, same levels, no advancements matter, it's all just even keeled down the board, right? And then to make it even more fair, they'd have to make the prizes kind of work in the same fashion where one isn't better than the other. That way it gives people more opportunity to say it's fair enough. Now, that in itself is a problem because, again, ping and all that stuff would cause a major issue. So they would have to, again, work in the confines of someone else's device and their internet connection. At the end of the day, that's how it would work. Same thing when it comes down to co-op. So I believe they wanted to perform co-op the way I mentioned. It just didn't work out because of it's just not working out. Right? I mean, and I think a lot of people here also are complaining about bans. Still, banning is still happening. We're still talking about all the issues with connectivity through mobile. There's still a lot of mobile players who are playing the game, and right now, because of the amount of mobile players playing this game, it still is going to cause that main issue where people are going to be lagging, disconnecting, causing other players with good connections to lag, and it's just going to be a horrible experience. So I'm actually very happy to see that we're going this route. I hope one day we can see some form of co-op once things are a little bit more optimized and a little bit more I guess friendly when it comes down to connectivity, because there's still a lot of people who's facing the whole circle of death and stuff, but unfortunately we don't have that right now. And for them to introduce a mode like this right now, in my opinion, is the death of that mode. Because nobody will ever look at that mode and take it seriously. Nobody will want to play it. It'll be nothing but complaints. Forums will be filled full of Reddit posts, people saying there's shit, Netmarble's bad for this, they don't know what they're doing, etc. So I think the smartest decision they possibly could have made is exactly what they did. And that's kind of go back on this and be like, hey, you know what? How do we handle this? What's the best way to do this? And should we consider, tackling this way a different way? And I think what they're doing right now with introducing node modes where people can just focus on high scores is the smartest thing to do. Now that obviously brings another point though to this whole thing. Will we ever see co-op? Honestly, and I've said this for a long time, I don't think we'll ever see co-op. I don't ever think it'll exist in this game. I don't see why it would. Where the hell is Akari? Sorry, one second guys, I'm looking for Akari. She's in here somewhere wearing some sort of a silly ass outfit. There she is. And so I don't see them ever doing it. I don't know if it's worthwhile for them to do it, only because of it would take a lot of team power to focus on that mode. And I personally would want them to focus on continuing the story and adding in things from the solo leveling world, including Ragnarok eventually, right? Like I would love to see SJW's son in there eventually and with his adventures and all that stuff. So I'd rather them put more focus on the PvE mode aspect of things when it comes down to the story mode, WOBLs, raids, etc., versus focusing on a mode that will probably never work, quite honestly, because of the way the game is functioning. So for those who are disappointed from hearing this news, remember, things can change. These sources are here to help guide us kind of a little bit to what to expect, but they're not 110%. So I'm just giving you what I know now. Things may or may not change down the line, but for right now, the typical format of co-op which we have existing right now in Solo Leveling Arise, aka the Guild Boss, is essentially how we're doing co-op for the brand new Jeju Island co-op mode. Is it exciting? Absolutely. I think it's great to have a new mode, but it's not the traditional co-op thing that everybody wants, and I think people's expectations need to be set on the fact that the game is just not stable enough to handle an environment like that. And I'm actually kind of happy that we're not going that route, because I can see nothing but headaches and nightmares come through, and Netmarble would just get destroyed on the forums for it. So hate to bear bad news right now, but hey, like I said, we may see a difference down the line, and if we do, I'll report on it beforehand, and if it does come out and hell, you know what, they decide to change their mind and it's the classic co-op mode where we can play with other players, that's even better for us. But hopefully, like I said, it's optimized and ready to go, and we don't encounter what we encounter currently with mobile players and other players being banned, disconnected, lagging, etc. Alright guys, this is Payne. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.